All right, hello, hello. Welcome to our Team Vibe with me, Coach Call. It has been a minute since we've done one of these. So I just wanted to come in today and do just kind of like a catch up of where things are at, like a little update and what kind of my plans are going forward for the team, for myself, for the business, and all that good stuff. So, first of all, um, my plan for our team calls. So what had happened was pretty much like and this happens, you guys, like I've been doing this for like almost 4.5 years. There are ups and downs. It's a roller coaster ride, right? So like you're gonna have really, really awesome high months where things are like going great, you're loving it, you're super excited, everything is working. And then sometimes it just won't. And it's about like riding that wave and trying to stay as consistent as possible, and I'm calling myself out because I realize that I have been treating my business like a hobby, not as a full time job, not as a part time job. I've been treating it like a hobby, and I hadn't really been working it. I hadn't really been excited about it, or like hadn't really been excited about our team or getting on team calls. So, like, that's why I haven't been doing it. And that was my first, realized this the other day, and I just gave myself that gut check. I was like, you idiot. Like, you make posts and you talk about this as your full-time job, but here you are treating it like a hobby, and you're working it maybe like 2 hours a week. And that's not sustainable for what I need at this stage of my life and for what I want for this business and what I want for myself. So I had to give myself that gut check and kind of like shake my head out a little bit, wake myself up, because if you treat this business like a hobby, it will pay you like a hobby. And nobody gets paid from their hobbies. You pay to go, like if you have a gym membership, and like, so my hobbies are boxing and spinning. I If I wasn't a teacher there, I would be paying to go to get that service. Hobbies don't pay you, you pay for your hobbies. So it's the same thing. If you're working this business like a hobby, you're not making any money, you're paying for Shakeology, you're paying for Beachbody on Demand, you're paying, it's an expensive hobby. That's what it is, pretty much. So I had to give myself that wake up call, and it's like, no, like, this is my full-time job, or at least I need to put like part-time hours into it and like work my way back up to that or something. Maybe right now it's just going to be part-time for me because I do have those three other teaching positions. So I just, I'm going through transitions as well, and I definitely don't want you guys to think that like I always have it all put together, because I don't. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not a perfect coach. I struggle as well. But the one thing that I have, and I always have had and always will have, is the resiliency. Like, I never give up. I will never ever give up on this business. I will never give up on our team. I will never give up on myself, because I believe in it so strongly, because I have seen what it's done for myself, what it's done for the other women on our team, or Amanda, Danielle, like Ashley Molsa. Like, I've seen what can be possible if you just shut the fuck up and do the work. And I'm saying that mainly to myself, like, shut the fuck up and just do the work. And if maybe you needed to hear that too, cool. But I am, tough love is still love, and that's how I give myself that coaching as well, because I need that. Otherwise, like, I'll be too nice on myself, like, oh, you can just do it tomorrow, you can just do it tomorrow, but like that shit doesn't get you anywhere, right? Expensive hobby, and that is not what we want. So I had to give myself that gut check the other day and go like, dude, wake up. I haven't been running sneak peeks. I haven't been talking about coaching as much on my social media. I've been still like posting about inviting, but I haven't been talking about it on my stories. So all of these things add up. If you hit Success Club Zero, it's because you did not do a good job of sharing and inviting. That's what it was. You didn't do a good job of sharing, inviting, so that when you had conversations, of course, people are going to come to you with objections because you aren't showing them anything. Like, we're in that era where people want to, they want the value first. They want to see, they want to try before they buy. So it's our job to show it, to show, like, showing your workouts is great. That's the first step. But what I'm learning, and whoever watches the recording, of course, I'm talking right to Catherine right now, but we signed up for Kayla Yabanis. I can't pronounce her last. I think that's what it is, Yabanis. We signed up for her social media, her Instagram stories thing, because when I went to hear from her at Super Sunday and I heard her speak, I was just like, I was breaking my neck, like nodding my head and going, yes, yes, yes. Everything she was saying was so on point, with the fact that like you need to give your people a reason to say yes to you. more than just the fact that you work out every day, because they'll look at that and go, cool, you work out every day. How am I going to work out every day? Like people are looking in there, following you, and they're saying, what's in it for me? So that's what we really have to wake ourselves up to, is it's not enough to just post that we're doing it. We have to actually share how we do it and how other people can do it too. We have to make it look doable, instead of just, because like I said, people will look at it and say, cool, that's just what you do, but how can I do it? We have to make it, you have to find, like, I know we've talked about it before, and like it has to really be done where you find your target person who you're speaking to, because we have to have people, in order to help people, to work with them, they have to sit there and look at your stuff and go, oh, this is for me. Oh, I need this right now. Like, yes, oh my God, she's speaking right to me. She's in my head. How does she know that that is what I'm feeling in this moment? That is how we have to get with our messaging. And I found that's what worked for me last month. I had Success Club 8, whereas like maybe previous months I had Success Club 2 or 0. Like I've been very yo-yo and up and down because I haven't been consistent. So if you're not consistent in your business, your numbers aren't going to be consistent, right? So that's been my kind of work that I've been putting in. I've been doing a lot of self-healing, a lot of journaling, a lot more of my morning routine, and doing the things that I know make me feel good. And I was speaking to Allison the other day, and she kind of had a gut check with herself too, because she's like, I stopped doing my morning routine. I stopped my journaling. I stopped this and that. And it's funny because I did it too when I was going through my downward spiral. And it's like, why do we always stop doing the things that we know make us feel good, right? So it's the same thing with your fitness journey. Like we fall off track and we go crazy on the sweets and we gain all this weight, and or maybe you don't gain all this weight, but you just start feeling like crap again. And then once you cut it for a week, you're like, oh my God, why did I stop? Like this feels so good. So it's human nature, like there's no such thing as a perfect person. Maybe Danielle Natoni, when it comes to like nutrition and that and her business, like she's a robot. I don't know, but like I'm not like that. I don't ever think I will, and I'm okay with that. I've accepted that. I'm imperfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. But I need, like, what's important is that we get to know ourselves. You have to know that about yourself. So you have to become more aware of when you are going in that downward spiral and take ownership of it. Call yourself out, give yourself that gut check so you can learn how to bring yourself back up. So that's what I've had to do. I started journaling. I started getting more into personal development because I stopped listening to podcasts. I stopped listening to the National Wake Up Call. I stopped getting on team calls. I pulled away. And so I really had to get back into that. And so that's what I did. I found I've been looking into going to therapy, because these habits, these things that we do, sometimes we aren't able to heal ourselves completely. Like people come to us for help with their fitness because we're like, us and Beachbody, we are the professionals. So why should we think that we are better than professionals who deal with mental health? Because I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, like, so I'm going to look into going to see someone. I started following this one. She's a psychologist, and her Instagram is The Holistic Psychologist. And I started doing her future self journaling prompts. That's a free file you can download, and I found it to be so helpful on what I'm dealing with right now. Is kind of like a communication thing that I do. I shut down in communications, and in a tough conversation, I usually shut down, I walk away, or I stonewall, it's called, where you just like go blank. And so I started to learn, why do I do that? And now I started to journal on it, and using this for future self journaling prompts has been, I've felt such a difference in the way that I'm communicating. And not only is it like stonewalling in an argument or something like that, but it made me realize that I do this with my messaging too. That if I don't get the right answer from someone, I don't open the message. If I have a feeling that like they're saying no, I don't open the message. I stonewall, and I won't respond back to them for like 2 weeks. And sometimes I'll find out that they weren't saying no. They were actually asking for more info. And I'm like, oh my God, I let this go for a week. What a waste of time. So there a lot of the things that we do right in our life translates into our business. Like there is a way to heal yourself. And it's just becoming more aware of it. So I'm working on my stonewalling in one sense, and it's affecting all other areas of my life. So one of the journal prompts is like 3 traits of my future self. So you work on one thing for 30 days, and I've been working on stonewalling. And what I say is like 3 traits of my future self is I don't run away from tough conversations. I don't avoid I don't avoid a hard conversation. I can easily express myself. I'm a great communicator. And those I am statements, they're powerful. And writing pen to paper, that's powerful. Like, it's scientifically proven that when you write things down, you give it power. You believe it more. You understand it more. You absorb it better. And I was listening to, because I started listening to the National Wake Up Call again, and it was a podcast that Rob Pearson did. Like, this was back in the summer. Like, guys, I'm backed up like to like July on National Wake Up Call. So I went back and listened to it, and he was saying something of like, you remember like 10% of what you read, you're like 30% of what you read, 60% of what you write down, and 90% of what you teach to others. And I thought that was such an amazing point, because like, yeah, you listen to personal development, you read it, you only remember certain parts of it. When you write things down, you will remember it more. And when you actually speak it to other people and you teach it, or like just speaking it out loud, like I am to you guys right now, like I am feeling more energetic just saying it. I am feeling more empowered by those words just by saying them. And I'm going to remember them, and I'm going to think of it more. And your mind is a powerful thing. If you remember something, if you think about it, like it becomes your reality. It just, you absorb those words. So when like that's why our programs, like our trainers do it too. Like Chris Downing is all about the power of I am. Like when he was doing his test group, that's what he was doing with the test group. He had them say like affirmations every day. I think there's even stuff about it. Like there's journal, like Beachbody's getting in on the journal prompting as well, with like the MM100, Ultimate Portion Fix. Like they're all doing it for a reason, because it works, like it really gets you to work through your shit. And 2 years ago, I would never used to journal. I used to be like, I don't journal. And it was my first time ever working with a business coach. And she was all about journaling and meditation. And I was like, I don't journal and I don't meditate. 2 years ago, that was me. I was like, no, it's weird. I feel bored. I feel like I'm going to fall asleep if I meditate. I don't know what to say. You know what? About 5 years ago or 4.5 years ago, I said the same thing about at-home workouts. I don't do at-home workouts. I'd rather be on the couch. Like these are stories that we tell ourselves, and you can very easily get past them if you want to. If you just try it, because you might find out you actually freaking love it. Like, I am a better person because I journal, because I meditate. I'm able to be a better person. I'm able to have a clearer head, be more calm. And you get out what you put in, just like with your workouts. So I put my all into it, and I truly put belief behind the words that I write down and the words that I speak. And I have found it's really, really helped me. So that's one thing that's really been helping me, is getting back to a morning routine, journaling, meditating. I also got into a Facebook group to work closer with the psychologist. So because I relate to her, find people that you relate to and get close to them. So I got into her Facebook group to work closer with her. I'm going to look into therapy outside of this as well, because sometimes it's good to have that third party person saying, like, letting you know that you're not alone in your thoughts, that you're not crazy, that your thoughts are normal, and they can help you navigate them. So that's kind of what I'm doing to help myself. And business wise, I found that, because that's the other thing too, I had to think, I'm like, okay, what was I doing when things were working really well for me in my business, in my life? What was I doing? And I remember probably the highlight of my business was like, the highlight of my business when I felt I was doing the best as a coach was when I remember it when Allison signed up. Like, I feel like I was my best coach at that time. And it's no surprise that was like, that's where she kind of, how she is now, because I was giving her my best. And so I'm like, okay, what was I doing? Because that was the only time that I had her and another coach at the time that, like, first time I had coaches hitting Success Club, First time I had coaches like earning their summit ticket. First time I had coaches like, popping to emerald right away and like rising up to diamond and becoming diamond. Like that was the first time that was happening. So I'm like, okay, that's when I was in flow. What was going on with the team? What was I doing with myself outside of it? What was I doing with our team, with our trainings, communication? Like what was I doing differently? So first thing was like my mindset. So I was meditating, I was journaling, I was doing like future goals and planning. So I've gotten back to that to work on my mental space. And then I was like, okay, what was I doing with our team that was working really well? And this is where you have to, we have to remember that just because our coach does something doesn't mean it's going to work great for us. So I love the self-paced training. I think it's a great idea, but not everyone learns that way. I know that I didn't learn that way. Amanda sent me, when I first signed up with her, everything Amanda sent me, I didn't even look at. I don't work that way. When with like long emails or like download this form, do this training on your own, that's not how I learn. So what I was doing that helped, it was Allison and Marissa at the time. Marissa's no longer with us, but what helped them was I had a 2-week intensive push to Emerald group. And that was when they both hit Emerald by the end of it. They both hit Success Club by the end of it. Marissa earned her Success Club or her summit ticket in 2 weeks. 2 weeks that's a quick amount of time to do that, right? And that's where like they both learned about social media. They both like got confident with it. We worked in a group setting. We got to work close together one-on-one. Like we got in a group chat together because they were able to find each other as Success Club partners because you were in a group and you're able to see, like, I'm able to see who's like running, who's walking. You're able to connect with each other and see, okay, who's like me that I can run with, And I find I work better through video and the self-paced training, whereas maybe it works for Danielle, it works for Amanda. Since I put it up, I really haven't seen it work well for our team. I don't know. How do you guys feel? What do you think about it? I'd love to hear your feedback. Have you looked at it? Because I think, Catherine, I don't know if I think you were already a part of like already doing coaching by the time I sent that out. So let me know, like I'm open to feedback because that's what I want to do. Like I want us to be more of a community and actually work together because I don't want to be the only leader. I want to create leaders. And that's one thing I found. I was talking to my friend Cassie and I was like, what do you think like Emily Faber does differently? Like, what do you think Ashley Molstead does? And Cassie was like, I really don't think their training is super special. I think they're just really good on community and making people really feel a part of the team and get excited about that. So that's what I want to bring in going forward. But yeah, what did you guys think of, like, how do you feel about like how you like to do trainings, about the 7-step, like the units, like give me feedback here.
So I'm definitely with you on the fact, like, I know when I don't know if I do things much better live, like team calls. I'm so much more jacked up about being on team calls, watching, calls on Monday, National Wake Up Call. Like when I do it live, I'm so much more into it. I'm so much like absorbing it. That's just for me. I know like sometimes when I was doing Amanda's diamond training, I'm like, oh God, it's more, it's another thing I have to watch and kind of a thing. So as far as me, I know that I respond better to live and community things like that.
Cool.
So.
Cool. Yeah, because that's what I was thinking of going back to, because that was like, I found so many people felt really good about that group. And it's basically like what I have in the 7-day training, but we actually go through it as a group. And I found a lot of people really responded well to that, really enjoyed that. So I'm thinking about going back to doing that and that's the thing, like, Catherine and I have been talking about our Enneagrams and we're Enneagram 7s. So we need things to be fun in order to keep our attention, in order to stay excited. Things have to be fun. Things have to excite us. And that's what I find has been my struggle, is when things get like boring or like mundane, that's when I'm like, I don't want to do this. So I have to find ways to make this fun and make this business fun. And I know the way I learn. So if it's not fun for me to be teaching it, I hate sending it out. I send out the email to people and it's like, hey, message me after you do it, like in 7 days. I don't hear anything back. And I hate having to follow up and be like, did you do it? Did you do it? Did you do it? Because like, that's not what this is. Like, I'm not checking your homework. Like we're all grown adults, So, but the self-paced, it works for some people. Like Allison, I gave her, she did the videos and I was like, okay, let me know when you get to day 7 and then we'll get on a call. So some people will fly through it. So like, I'm still going to keep the option of it, but I think going forward, I want to run more groups. I want to, make more of our community vibes. And I was thinking of even doing, because in our boot camps, when I do the daily challenges and prizes at the end, people get super jazzed and like a little bit competitive and like, I want to earn a prize. Yeah. So I was thinking about you with that. I want to do that for our team as well. Like coaching point, like, daily challenges as a coach, like make a post today, send out, like you'll get points for doing this. So that's my mindset around that, is to make this more fun for us, make it more engaging, make it feel more like community vibes, that we're not doing it alone. So those are my thoughts. The Emeralds group, I think I'm going to make it just a week push. We'll see how that goes. Doing a week, I'm gonna look at what I have for content and maybe just do the 7-day training actually in 7 days, and just go live and start doing those, like a week-long push group, run on Facebook. And then I definitely want to do a diamond one. Like, I think it's totally possible. It's in our realm to do it. I've become diamond twice with myself and with my mom. Allison's become diamond. I'm halfway to diamond with my second CBC. So I know how to help people get to diamond. So I think that is definitely something on my mind. And I don't think we need to wait until January to do it. We still have 2 months left in the year. So if we do an Emerald push, everyone hits Emerald by the end of the week, and then we do a diamond push that's like 6 weeks or something. Because not Allison, I think when she did the diamond push, she did it in 8 weeks. About 8 weeks was the one we did. And I was a part of one with Danielle, and it took me 8 weeks to push for it. And then the one coach that I had, Sabrina, she's not with us anymore, she did it in 6 weeks. So it's totally possible to do it. It's just staying engaged, having the mindset of it. So I think that would totally be possible. And then you finish the year as a diamond and you can start January off already achieving that goal and set even bigger ones for the new year. So I think that's what I want to do. I think I want to make it fun. I want to do the daily challenges, do prizes. The one thing I'm going to do though is for team calls, I think I'm going to make them bi-weekly for a little bit, just until like I get my mojo on like things to be teaching again, because I want it to be useful. I don't want us to just come on here and talk and like talk about the same things over and over again. I want it to still be fresh. I want it to be exciting, and I want it to be like we can all talk with each other. So I'm going to move that to bi-weekly. And going forward, to get on one-on-one calls with me, I do have to, that's one thing I'm learning with all of this, like self-healers I've been doing with, her name's Dr. Nicole, and she's really big on boundaries. So like, in order to protect my energy and, do things like make myself like keep staying happy, I have to set boundaries. So what I'm going to do is each month, first call is at the beginning of each month. First call is free, open to everyone. But in order to get on another call with me, like if you want those weekly calls, I'm going to require a little bit more action. Whereas if I give you tasks to do, I have to actually see that those tasks have been done. And you have to at least get like a customer before you get on that next call. Because if your goal is Success Club 5 and we get on a call at the beginning of the month, you should be aiming to assign one person each week to get there by the end of the week. So first call is free at the beginning of the month, as long as, I feel you deserve it. That's the thing, you guys, because I did those weekly calls and I loved them. But when there wasn't results and I would get on the calls and it was like, oh, I didn't do this again, I didn't do that again, I gotta do the tough love coach thing and say that like it's gotta be worth my time as well. It's gotta be worth it for you, because if I'm not excited to get on the call with you, that's not fair to you, and if you're not excited, if you're getting on going, I didn't do the work. That's not energetically good for either of us, right? And I want it to keep it fresh. I want us to both be excited to get on this call, and I want it to have purpose. I want you to feel good getting off of it. So that's kind of what I'm gonna have to do. So at the beginning of the month, first call is free. If you want weekly check-ins, the action has to be done. Whatever we did, whatever we set for those goals for the week have to be completed by the next time we get on that call. And at least, it doesn't have to be maybe a challenge pack. If you sign someone up with Beachbody On Demand, if you sign someone up with like Energize, as long as I see that you are putting in the effort, then we're able to get on that next call. Okay? Make sense? Sound fair? Cool. Alrighty. So yeah, that's my plans going forward, because like I want our team to be a 2-star diamond. Again, like we are, but we've fallen because I had my mom there and then gave hers up so I could absorb Catherine. And also she didn't want her full, like my mom wanted to save some money and like not pay for Shakeology every month, which is fine. Stuff happens. She's retired now. But I want us to be 2-star. I would love for us to be 5-star. Like I would love for us to grow to 10-star and above. Like I totally believe that's possible. I believe in our team. I believe in myself as a leader. But I can't do it by myself. I can't want it more for you guys than you want it for yourself. But I believe we can do this. So if I want, like, if I have those goals for our teams, I mean, I have to level up as the leader, right? So I've got to start being more engaged. I've got to start being more consistent. I've got to start acting like a freaking leader, like, because I felt like I was just doing the things, I was doing the hobby stuff. I was treating it like a hobby. And 5-star diamond teams are not hobby coaches, not at all. So that's I'm calling myself out with you guys. I'm always honest with you to let you know that like it is never sunshine and rainbows over here. And when you're running your own business, it's never sunshine and rainbows. There's always ups and downs. You're gonna feel like quitting a lot, but the resiliency has to be there. The belief has to be there. And I know that even if, because it's happened a couple times this year, even if I hit Success Club 0, I'm still going to keep doing this. I still believe in the possibility to come back, because we do have that possibility every month. Like, we do have the ability to create income out of thin air. We do have the ability to hit Success Club 60 just as much as we have the ability to hit Success Club 0. Like nobody puts a limit on you but you. So, and I find that very cool. Like you don't find that in a job that you go to from 9 to 5. You do what other people tell you. You do what you have the limits that job sets on you, and you can't go above it. You shouldn't go below it. Otherwise you don't have a job. So, but this is the only job that we have control of the amount of effort we put in. We have control on the results that we get because of the amount of effort that we put in. And I think that is so amazing. You'll find that nowhere else. And that's why I will never, ever, ever stop doing this. And reminder, like when you're having those tough times, like that's my reminder for me recently has been the people that you do have. So even if you do hit Success Club 0, if you don't bring in any new coaches, like the people that you do have, the people that you have helped, like that is always my driving force. Is I'm not in this to be, of course, 15-star and diamond would be amazing because I would have helped 15 other people get to their goals. And how amazing that would make me feel amazing to see that I helped other people do that. But no, I'm not in this to be a top 10 team. That's not the goal. The goal is to help other people in fitness and in business, in health, and just live better. So when you're not hitting Success Club or things are hard, focus on the people that you do have. And if you don't have any people yet, then that's the driving factor. Like that's where we have to start, is I want to help people. Like that's where it all starts. The business, all that grows if you focus on helping people. So when I wasn't hitting Success Club, maybe like instead of letting that get me down and be like, oh, I'm a terrible coach, I poured into our challenge group. That's when I run the monthly challenges. I started doing like asking people for like if they want the weekly check-ins or how often they want to communicate. And I was like, how can I help you better? Because that's what I got in this for. Like, there are people that are already signed up with you who need you. And just because, like, we can get very distracted with, we need more people, got to hit success, I've got to bring in new people. But if you forget about the people who got you to where you are now, you don't have a business, because they're going to leave you, right? And you're going to make them feel like shit and make them feel like they're not enough because they're not buying it. They're not getting you Success Club points. And that's what I never want to happen, right? So yeah, that's kind of what's been up with me, what I've been doing to move myself forward, and what my plans are for our team going forward. So I'm calling myself out because I have to freaking do it. I'm going to get into doing another sneak peek again. I want to do it on Instagram to see how that goes. Excuse me. So the next time I do that will be the next time that I wash my hair. Because that's the thing. It's like I have to just like, okay, you washed your hair today, sit down and make a video, girlfriend. So that's my plan. So that will probably be happening. That's going to happen next week, because I am going to be going home this weekend. So I don't want to be doing that. And when I come back home next week, or come back to this home next weekend, then I will dive into doing that. So my plan for that, I'll do a live video in our group chat kind of talking about that. And then I always encourage you, like, if I'm doing it, try it, like if building a team is what you want, like these are the things that do have to start happening. Maybe you don't do it on an actual, like, create a separate Instagram account. What I'm going to do is, first I'm going to make like live video, like IGTVs a little bit on my page as I'm talking about it, and then reference people over to the page there. But yeah, that was another thing that I kind of got from watching like Ashley Molstead or Emily Favre, is like, and even Amanda, like Danielle Natoni doesn't run sneak peeks, or she doesn't very often. She never used to. I think she's done a couple in the past year, but she never used to. So if you are always waiting for your coach to do something to give you permission to do it, you're wasting time, you're wasting the ability to be good at something and to like attract people in with your voice, with your message. So Amanda started doing open houses just on her own, on a whim, on her own with the team, and opened it up and just started doing it. And Danielle still never runs sneak peeks the way that Amanda does. But if Amanda never waited, there's so many people that wouldn't be on our team right now if she, and even within the downline of people who, like, we have invited our people to watch those videos. Like, I've gotten people to sign up from sneak peeks because of sneak peeks. So if we never do those things, we don't try new things. Like, this business is all about trying new things, right? Because it's always evolving. If we're never trying new things, we're never growing. You're never going to figure out what works for you if you don't try new things. All right. That's all I got for you guys. So thank you so much for jumping on. And yeah, we're going to do calls bi-weekly going forward. And I will make a post attached with this, kind of like talking about that. So it'll all be there, and I'll save it to the pin post and all that jazz. Okay. All right. Let's take a photo. Nice big smiles. Beautiful. Thank you for jumping on, everyone. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good one.